What's going on, guys? Welcome to Ajax Reviews. Today we review The Final Terror. Directed by Andrew Davis. A group of rangers go camping on unfamiliar forest grounds. All's well until the group members start getting killed by a cunning killer in the woods. Now, let me take you back again. I like doing these little personal experiences with movies before I get to the review, just to give you guys a little background on if I've seen the movie, what I compare it to before watching it, or whatever. Now, The Final Terror is another movie that I did see when I was younger. Now, I remember this movie, and I remember Joe Pantoliano, who later went on to be in movies like The Goonies and The Sopranos. He was also in Eddie and the Cruisers. I remember him being just a fucking nut job in this movie, man. And I remembered the monster. Because when I was younger, I didn't know. I had no idea about the story. I was just going straight up visuals with this when I was younger. I think I was like maybe... it was after I saw Splash. Because this movie was made, I guess, in like 79 or 80 and didn't come out until 83 because there weren't enough kills and shit. And they only came out because these actors' careers started going up. So I didn't see it until like after Splash, which I think that came out in 85. I could be wrong. But I started, I watched this movie and I just remember... I remember Joe Pantoliano being just a fucking nutcase. And I remember, Daryl Hannah being Daryl Hannah. And I didn't, because I'd seen Splash first, I recognized her from that. I'm like, hey, it's that girl. Then there was another guy in the movie, I don't remember his name, but he was also in a movie that I watched in the 80s called The Heavenly Kid. Pretty much half this cast went on for fucking stardom. They started small and went up, one dude was in Grease 2, and I mean, fucking, they went all over the place. But I remember Joe Pantoliano, and he's the one that stood out. Him and the monster. Now, again, like I was saying, I didn't know originally watching this that the monster was his mom, and that he was the product of being of rape and inbreeding, and the story that they told at the campfire and shit. I didn't know it was about him. Matter of fact, being that young, I don't remember the fucking story. So I remember just the aesthetic. I remember the forest. I remember they used a lot of camera angles that I had never seen. Like that I thought, I would compare it with like Friday the 13th. It's in the woods and whatever. They used angles that I had never seen used in movies, like looking straight up like at the sky, and then it's surrounded by trees. Like I remember going to summer camp and laying down and seeing that same look and getting fucking freaked out because it reminded me of that movie. So yeah, I mean, weird little things like this, that I remember. But I really, one of the things about this movie that I've always enjoyed, the many times that I've seen it, is the cinematography and the way that the woods were shot. You could have made it look like Friday the 13th, but they didn't. It doesn't look anything like it. It doesn't give you the same feel as it, and that makes it stand out. So we'll move on. I'll fucking stop rambling and we'll get to the review.
What the hell are you doing like that? Huh? Scaring these girls half to death?
Edgar, it ain't your turn.
Well, I mean, I think I said most everything that I wanted to say. The way this movie was shot was just very different. It gave off a certain type of feel, kind of a feeling of dread. And it really worked for this movie. The color grading mixed with the way it was shot, mixed with the acting, mixed with the music, mixed with everything, it just all blended together perfectly. Is it a movie with a high body count? Absolutely not. Are the kills insane? No, they're not. Could they have been? I mean, yeah, that would have been much better. That would have added to it. But was it a bad movie because of it? No, absolutely not. It was actually enjoyable. It was one of those ones where it's more suspense than anything. It's less slasher, less, gore. It's literally a suspense thriller. And it didn't become a slasher movie until, movies like Friday the 13th picked up, And here we are in 1983 when the movie was from like 1979 or 1980. So I think, just the way that was done worked out very well. The acting in this movie was on point. And the story brought these characters to where they're at and gave them a reason to actually be there. Not just, kids running around in a summer camp doing stupid shit. These were adults, and they had a reason to be in that location at that specific time. So it made sense. The tension was kind of a slow build, but it delivered when it really counted. So you have this slow building tension that leads to this point, and then boom, and you're like, oh, fuck, okay, cool, right on. Now you can mellow out and wait for the next slow build. Sometimes movies like that are good. You don't need fast building tension with an explosive fucking climax. You slow build, and then boom, and you kind of just pop you, and then bring it back down, and then go back up again. I like the way that it flowed. Now it's time to talk about some of the things that I liked. The cast. The cast was great. They all fit. They all seemed like they were in that spot for a reason. Everything with the cast was great. No wonder half of that cast went on to be, superstars. Another thing I really liked about this movie was the story. The story made sense. Like when I was younger, I didn't really get the story, didn't really watch it for the story. But now, watching it, it's actually a pretty decent story. Like Edgar, played by Joe Pantoliano, didn't want them to go there.
I told you not to come. Well, now you've done it.
It's actually the contrary. He didn't even fuck with them. He was there and he visited his mom or whatever the fuck. I mean, it doesn't really show it, but then you see the van later and then the mom's attacking. Like, he never fucks with them. He didn't want them there. He didn't want them to know. So it was different. It was different than everything else. Like, usually they want them there so they can fucking kill them. That wasn't the case here. And as I said before, cinematography in this movie was great. I mean, I really liked what they did with this movie. Now, apparently the director also did the cinematography in this, which is fucking awesome because typically to direct and be doing the cinematography, pretty difficult to do. And the last thing that I liked about this movie was the effects. Although there wasn't a lot of it, what there was good. I mean, other than the look of the mom at the end, which you could tell was just shoddy as hell, everything else didn't look too bad. The blood looked good. The kills looked decent. It wasn't terrible. And the creativeness in the kills by using the tin can tops was fucking just great. Now let's talk about some of the things that I didn't like. The name of the movie, The Final Terror. I mean, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work with the story. It doesn't work with the way anything played out. It just didn't work. I don't find it to be a movie that I would, like, back in 1983, go, I gotta fucking see that. Like, even the trailer makes it seem like it's a fucking alien. Like, the marketing in this movie could have been done a lot better. But I guess they just rushed it out in 1983 just to get it the fuck out because they had it shelved for 3 years. So, I mean, I get it, but I don't, The other thing I really didn't like about this movie is that the ending just came along too sudden. Just like, okay, we're at the end. We have like 3 minutes that we can put in this movie, and let's just fucking do it. Like, no, like he shows up, and then the death, and then mom shows up, and then like the death. Like, it just happened. It's like, here we are, and about to have a final battle, and It was literally Conor McGregor versus Jose Aldo. 13 seconds. Like, done. Oh, fucking, that's it? And then it just goes to credits. It's like, fuck, man. You guys could have put in some thought to this. Like, let it go a little bit longer, man. Give us, like, a badass fight. Let somebody get fucked up and do another death. Something. But they didn't. But it's their movie, not mine. So, in conclusion, would I recommend this movie? You're damn straight. The movie's really good. The story's good. It's not terrible. It's not cheesy. It's fun. I mean, it told a story and it delivered on it. The cinematography was good. The music was good. And the cast was great. And for fans of horror movies, this is a must-have for your collection. So, with that being said, I'm going to give this movie a 3.5 out of 5. And that's going to do it for me for today, guys. So until next time, remember, stay smart, stay clean, keep the dream. Don't let the man get you down, because if he does, you might end up with Edgar in the middle of the woods and some lady ready to fuck you up with that thing she got in her hand. You don't want that, because, I got nothing bad to say about this movie.